Hi, everyone. We're Team Teddy Tracker. And the problem we're trying to solve is how to address isolation and detect distress among children with cancer. So the solution we've come up with is Teddy Tracker, which provides comfort to children in distress, provides assurance to concerned parents, and alerts healthcare professionals. So we have a two-pronged system that we use to detect distress within children. We have a wearable device responsible for detecting and transmitting data. We have a teddy bear that is responsible for providing comfort to the child and communication with the parent. And in terms of distress, what we're actually looking for is clinging to objects, which we can detect with pressure, rocking back and forth, which we can detect with accelerometer, accelerated heart rate, which is pulse monitor, and accelerated sweat level. So the system would work when alert goes off, a signal will be sent to the parent and the HCP, and depending on the situation, whether it's home or it's in the hospital, the parent could respond to the child or the HCP, and the HCP can administer care. So when a severe alert is detected, the mother may be called, she can call her child and try to soothe them, sing them a lullaby, calm them down. The HCP can come into the room and provide care, and the parent can have that reassurance. And but also the toy doubles as a regular toy, so it's another plus.
Yeah, got it. Oh, it's okay. So this is an example of what an alert on a parent's phone would look like. So it gives like a relative distress level, which is a measurement of all the different sensors we have in the bear and the wearable. And they have the option to either call straight into the bear, play a pre-recorded message. And they can also look at a log of all the different times distresses have been captured over a period of time. You can go in and change different symptoms, add different symptoms, change their intensities. You can see this on a graph over time to see trends. And then you can also, again, change the setting from home to hospital. And this changes like who the app is communicating with. So is it calling directly to the parents, or is this going straight to healthcare professionals in the hospital setting?
All right, so we built a prototype of this Teddy Tracker. You can see here. You can imagine if a kid is particularly distressed, he or she might like hug the bear, and you can see that it will respond. And then if we move it below the line for long enough, the parent will actually get a call. He's getting a call. And then also we added an accelerometer, so if the child is like rocking back and forth, you can see that in the bottom graph.
So for our product, we're going to have a 510K submission, and we would partner with emerging wearable technologies to reduce R&D time and costs and IP issues. We spec the market to be about 2.1 million. We hope to capture 5%, which is 100K in the first year. But we plan to sell to hospitals and parents directly. Okay. Is that it? All right.
The movements on the bear are perceived distress, but if I'm a child and I want to make the bear kind of walk around, and does that my alarm goes off and my mom's phone, and so can you design specific inputs on the bear that are more specific to stress? The Fitbit makes sense, but I'm not sure about the bear.
Right. So right now we're just receiving the raw data output from the accelerometers right now, but our intent was to do more frequency response analysis, so seeing what are the amplitudes of these peaks and have cutouts for that, so how violently are they shaking it, and then also looking at the frequencies, so is it like a calm, soothing, is it like one jolt, basically of like the kid throwing the bear across the room or something like that. So doing frequency response analysis on that, and then also like having multiple sensors, so again, the wearable is more of a validation, so increased heart rate is a very good indicator of stress levels, so mitigating the differences between the sensors that way.
And also the time of day, like if it's at 2 a.m. where the kid's supposed to be sleeping, certain things are happening versus in the day when they're playing.
Can you just add a little camera to decrease mom's anxiety, perhaps?
Yeah, so we were thinking of that, like, this doubles as like a pseudo baby monitor almost. And so we have the ability to add more and more sensors into here. It's just a matter of cost and cost benefit differences. So like we're originally planning on putting two-way communication, so also being able to speak into the bear and communicate back to the parent as well.
Have there been any studies or literature that would correlate, stress response with these, with a plush toy? I mean, is there?
Okay, so is this on? I looked into this a little bit, and so I believe it's called a transitional object. So this idea that you have some sort of object that the child can really hold on to in almost like a safety blanket, if you imagine. And so there are a number of different studies that show the positive impact of having these objects not only for children, but also even for adults. And so the idea is that not only do we have the transitional object that they can physically hold on to, but then it also can provide a monitoring tool for the physicians for a child who might be alone in, say, an isolation room because they're receiving a radiotherapy, and they can't physically hit like the panic button on the wall because they're like 3 years old. So that's kind of the idea here.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. Is there accelerometers on Fitbits already?
There are, and so we're thinking you can also harness those, but with the bear, if they're holding it, then you would get more accurate of like rocking motion versus like they're just moving their arms around, something like that. So that's why we decided to take the data from the bear, not the wearable. And you can also, correlate the two.